Hello and welcome to episode 15 of the Late Night Gaming Show, not episode 14. Like last week we got confused that it was 13, it was 14. So we can confirm this is episode 15, so we're very excited about that. Jodie, how are you this week?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Doing alright. I'm very, very tired, so if I look like I'm falling asleep, it's because I am. So it's not because Jodie's boring, it's just because I'm...
And it gives me permission to hit him.
Yeah,
so.
It's been a very busy week, but that doesn't matter because we're going to have a great time on the show this week, aren't we? We've got a great lineup and I cannot wait to share my joke of the week this week. So let's get straight to it. To section one, which is Joke of the Week. Welcome to section one, which is Joke of the Week. This is Jodie's favourite section, where I basically tell a really rubbish game-related joke. Jodie's challenge is to not laugh at all. I've actually lost count of the points, so I'll have to count them up for next week. I think I'm on 5. Jodie's on 0. Mike is on 2. I think I'm actually on more than that. I think it's more like 6 or 7. But anyway, I will count them up another time. But Jodie, last week I tried to make it easy for you. I gave you the worst joke we've ever done.
But I wasn't laughing. This is my what's it called? I wasn't laughing at the joke.
It doesn't matter.
So the rules are at any point you laugh.
With any time within this
I thought it was
section.
just at the joke.
No, any time within this section you laugh, it's over.
Well, you can't sit there then and be quiet for 5 seconds.
I can.
And then look at me.
I absolutely can. Maybe that's
can.
the joke. That's the joke all along.
Okay.
But it doesn't start until I say the joke. So if you laugh before it, I'll let you off with that. But Jodie, I'm going to make this. This is going to be a second. I'm going to give you a pity point today. I'm literally going to call this pity point. I have made my own joke. I've invented it myself.
Oh dear.
And I am going to share it with you now. And if you laugh at this one, Jodie, there's no hope because this is a terrible joke that I've made up myself. I made up a few jokes in this whole section, but this is the worst one I've made up.
Okay.
So I'm going easy on you today.
Okay.
And in the spirit of Detective Pikachu, it is a Pokemon-related joke, which tend to be pretty bad.
Okay.
But here we go. I'm excited. Are you ready?
No.
You want to get some laughs out first? You want to rub your Pika patches on your cheeks and just
Pika patches.
get them out. They're actually called electric sacs.
Yes,
That's what they're called. Just to confirm that. Yeah. I know that because I did it on a quiz on a Pokemon game.
Okay, fair enough.
Interesting fact of the day. All right, you ready?
Yes.
Okay. I'm trying to remember it. Okay. Pikachu was driving down the road. Why? Yeah. I can't, wait. Right. Why did Pikachu get stopped for road rage?
I don't know. Why did Pikachu get stopped for road rage?
Because there was a slow poke in front of him.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You happy with that?
Yeah, that's
You think you can handle it? So I'm going to say the joke again for the viewers.
Okay.
You just need to last through that one, and you've done it. Don't. You've got to be kidding. You had me in the bag. I didn't do anything.
I'm not laughing at this.
I didn't do anything. I legit didn't do anything. All I said was, I'm going to say it again. I'm pre-warning you. Right. I don't know what to say anymore. This section's pointless.
I don't think. I just don't think that you should do this section with me. I think.
It's funny. It's funny. I think if you come off with 1 point in this year, that'll be the achievement.
You know, everyone will cheer, and we'll probably get the most likes on that day.
See, what Mike does is he laughs inside.
That's what I was doing when it came out.
Okay.
I can't contain the joy. You see, guys. That's what it is.
So as always, we're happy. None of this material is the show is copyrighted, but the jokes are not. I'm happy for you to share them with your friends. And so, if one day you're out in the playground, you get your Tamagotchis out. It's been a while.
Do these kids know what Tamagotchis are?
Well, I saw them in Toys R Us the other day, so somebody must be playing them.
But then they're closing down, so no wonder why they've still got them.
Maybe that's why they closed down. It's had too many Tamagotchis. So you're out in the playground, you're with your mate. You pulled out your Tamagotchi. One of your mates has actually got the Pikachu one because there was a Pikachu kind of Tamagotchi. It wasn't actually called Tamagotchi, but there's a Pikachu one. And you're like, mate, I'm so jealous of your Pikachu Tamagotchi. And the kid goes, it's not a Tamagotchi, but it's similar. And you go, right, okay. Gets a bit awkward. bit of silence. He's dished you on your Pokemon knowledge. What do you do to break the tension? You say, why did Pikachu get stopped for road rage? And then he goes, I don't know. Why did he get stopped for road rage? He goes, because there was a Slowpoke in front of him.
There you go.
And then the laughter happens. There might be some reconciliation, some hugging, some acceptance of each other, and some forgiveness.
There you go.
And you move on. So I hope you've enjoyed Joke of the Week. Feel free to share, as always, with your friends.
Definitely.
And we'll see you in just a hot second for what have we been playing this week.
What you been playing this week?
Okay, welcome back. It's time for section 2, which is what have we been playing this week. And I don't even need to ask Jodie what she's been playing this week because I've been playing it with her. And that is PUBG.
Oh, yeah.
On iOS.
Got a little bit of PUBG.
Oh, like, so you didn't even like it. You were like, oh, this sounds rubbish, not interested. Then
Just
we did that.
Fortnite.
We did the gameplay video. And it was, changed our lives, didn't it? It was that, came second.
We did.
Things got crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And we've been playing it pretty much non-stop since then, haven't we?
Yeah. I think most nights we've played it.
Pretty much.
This week's been a bit quiet because we've both been busy, but...
Yeah. But yeah, it's just been like all the time. And I keep getting a text from you like every single night. PUBG.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah. So what is it about PUBG that you love so much compared to Fortnite? Specifically on mobile?
I think it's because everyone's so slow and they can't build. I can just shoot them from a rooftop and it's boss. That's the only reason, like, because it's just so much easier. Where with the other one, they're literally building non-stop to kill you, and you're just like, that's not fair. You won't be able to build in real life.
The thing for me is that I was saying that because it is slower, if somebody shoots, like in Fortnite, if somebody starts shooting you, you're pretty much dead. Like, there's nothing you can do about it. But in PUBG, like, if somebody hits you, you've actually got time to respond and actually do something about it. Like you can get down on the ground and try and hide behind something, heal yourself. But there's just a lot more. There's a lot more strategy to it. Yeah. It's kind of like the comparison I probably make. It's like Battlefield to Call of Duty. Like Call of Duty, just run around, and whoever sees the other person first dies, basically. And then with Battlefield, it's much bigger. You got to really think about where you're gonna go, what you're gonna do when you get there, how are you gonna approach different. It's a lot more tactical, I think.
Yeah, but we have our routine, don't we?
We do.
We're not telling anyone because they'll come after us.
Exactly. But we actually, if you watched our gameplay video, we came second and we were devastated because we were so close. That happened about 5 or 6 times more.
It did. It really
but then,
did.
Jodie, a few days ago,
it did.
We did it.
It made my heart jump for joy. It did.
And we're going to have a screenshot up right now of the victory screen. And literally, we went to run over somebody with 2 of us in the car. There was 1 person left. He started shooting at both of us. We actually won as I went down. I got shot out the car and I was crawling on the floor and it just went win. And I was like, did we win? Did we win? And then it said winner, winner, ching, and dinner. I was like, oh my God.
Literally. It was dead funny because you got out of the car, you started going, Jodie, I'm down. I just went, okay. I just saw this guy, I started shooting and the car just went over him at the same time. Like, yes, we did it.
So it was crazy. But the one just before that, I think it was after church, wasn't it? It was after church.
Yeah, it was.
And we decided, we'll have a game before we go. And and we were there was only 2 people left. We were like ready to go. Jodie accidentally hits the exit car button, jumps out and then gets run over immediately. And I was like, Jodie, why did you jump out the car?
It was because I was trying to get the what's it called, the sight thing.
Aim down sight.
That's it. Aim down sight bit.
I can't believe it. So I was left with me on my own,
close.
and then I thought I ran them both over. Apparently, I only ran one of them over, and then the guy shot me, and it was over. And I was like, Jodie, can't believe what just happened. So I think that again, that's what I love about it. You just get such unique and funny and crazy stories out of playing it, don't you? Yeah. So I've pretty much only been playing that. I played a little bit of Detective Pikachu. Okay. Earlier in the week on the Friday when it came. There is an unboxing video of all the Detective Pikachu stuff that we got because there's a bit and there was like a new amiibo, which I'm not even going to show because you need to watch the video. It's so good.
You do.
So I played that a little bit, and that's pretty much been it because it's just been such a busy week. But yeah, have you been playing anything else? Or has it literally just been that?
No, not even turned PlayStation on since I started playing that. So it just shows. Went and bought 12-month pass. Not used it. Just not used it.
Don't even need it now.
Don't need it.
So there you go. So that's what we've been playing this week.
Yeah.
That was nice and easy, but I think we definitely recommend playing PUBG on the.
Definitely.
And we have our own crew,
We do.
CGN crew. So you are welcome to join us if you wish.
Yep.
But we hope you've enjoyed this section. So that has been what have we been playing this week. So now we are going to be moving on to section 3, which is the news.
It's time for some news, yeah. It's time for some news.
Welcome back to section 3, which is the news. We have got 6 items on the list today. Not a lot, not tons, but a good amount. This is the ideal amount. The worst one we had was, I think we had 13.
Oh.
But yeah, so we've got 6, which I feel is the ideal amount. Steady amount. So number 1, we got this actual news straight from Sony. They sent it out.
They did.
And it's the PlayStation VR. So this is the bundle with the camera.
Yeah.
Is getting a permanent price drop to $259.99, which is it's £90 savings basically, which is pretty good. So if you've waited, you'd be like, I'm gonna wait. Hopefully it goes a bit cheaper.
Definitely.
You just saved yourself £100.
I did.
Happy days. So that's pretty cool. Number 2, Sea of Thieves has had some pretty devastating bugs from the start, and one of the worst ones is that as like you've been sailing around the sea, having a good time, you've picked up about 7 or 8 chests, got some skulls and stuff, which gives you some money. You're about to go and turn it in. You're feeling pretty piratey. You get your grog down it because you're just so excited, and then you get kicked out of server, come back, and all your chests are gone.
It's disgusting.
So all the money that you just spent a couple of hours doing disappeared. And there was actually a Reddit user who posted a picture, and he actually completely filled his ship with chests. Like, he took a photo of it, just like the entire pirate ship was covered in chests. Like, it took him 9 hours to do it. On his way back, the bug hit, and he lost everything.
That's bad, that.
It's bad. It is bad, isn't it?
That's really bad.
So apparently Rare is on the case, and that is their priority to fix these pretty bad bugs. And obviously I experienced some we talked about it in the review last week. How I was experiencing a bug where basically you go and turn in your chests, which is basically the entire game, and it wouldn't give you any money. So essentially you were doing stuff for no reason. So so Sea of Thieves, I'm like, it's really bad, and I'm happy to report Angry Joe, I watched his review. So funny, his review, but he also gave it a 4 out of 10, which is what we gave it to. Hey. So there you go. I feel like we got it right. But yeah, it 100%, like, anybody who gives it above that, I'm sorry, like, go. I think IGN gave it a 7, and I was like, come on. Even the way they spoke about it, I was like, there's no way that's a 7.
It's not a 7 at all.
I feel like they're at the same. Microsoft in this case is like, because of their underdogs, they're getting the benefit of the doubt. It's very much like what Nintendo was like before. I felt like Wii U games were getting slightly better scores than they really should have done, just because they were the underdogs and people wanted it to do well. I feel like that's the situation. Like, this is a terrible game, and people are like, oh, but it's Microsoft's only exclusive. It's a little bit better. Don't worry. It's all coming in the future. If it's not here day one, I'm not interested.
No point, is there?
Yeah, it's a very disappointing game, but there you go.
Sad.
Okay, number 4. Getting through these nice and quickly. Wait, I've missed one.
No.
Oh, number 3, sorry. So then, speaking of game scores, Sea of Thieves Metacritic, I think this is hilarious, has done worse than No Man's Sky. So I love that, like, what people have been calling it is No Man's Sea. So if you don't know about No Man's Sky, it was kind of a space exploration game, and it promised all this crazy stuff. The game came.
And it didn't deliver.
It didn't have half the stuff that it was supposed to. But it's very much kind of like Sea of Thieves, how it operates, but it doesn't really have the social aspect of it. And people hated on it for quite a lot. And it's just funny that Sea of Thieves, which is this like first party, big pushed game, it's actually got worse than that. I find that hilarious. But I'm glad that I'm not the only one who found it quite poor. So there you go, Sea of Thieves, ruining lives since 2018. Okay, number 4. Nintendo announces that a Splatoon 2 and Super Smash Bros. Tournament will be at E3. You excited for this, Jodie?
I am.
Which one in particular?
It's probably Splatoon.
The Splatoon tournaments are always fun. So.
Yeah.
But I think what's really exciting about this is that they will have Super Smash Brothers playable there because they're doing a tournament of it.
Oh,
so
that's true.
That's very exciting. Again,
Nice to see as well.
if you want to see how excited Jodie is for Super Smash Brothers on Switch, head down to CGNgames on YouTube and watch her reaction video because it's hilarious. So it's not the reaction that you would expect. So enjoy that one. Number 5. Now this is going to be part of our topic of the week, but there's a horror game called Outlast 2, and basically it's a very gruesome, horrible, like not a nice game. But what they did was, right, they cut certain parts out the game so that it wouldn't get an adults only rating. So they took parts out of it specifically, that's the point. And now they're patching them in. So what they've basically done is they've removed all the really bad stuff.
Yeah.
Just so they could get it through, get the stamp on the box.
That's disgusting.
And then now that it's been out for a little bit, they're going to patch it in. So if you think about it, like let's say you were a younger person or whatever, or I think this is specifically in America, but let's say you bought the game, you hadn't played it yet, or you just hadn't got around to finishing it or whatever. You come back, technically the rating's gone up, but you wouldn't even know unless you looked into it, and you could play the game and all this really bad stuff, like really bad stuff would be there.
It's terrible.
And this game actually got banned in Australia because it had sexual violence in it. So that's not great, is it?
No.
But don't worry, guys. If you really wanted to experience that, it's on the Switch now. Which I can't recommend at all. So we're going to be talking a little bit around this topic about it, but I just can't believe... I mean, it's proper dodgy, and I'm like, I don't get how, like, I don't know if this game is available on disc, but surely the rating has to be changed then on
It's got to.
like on like the online store and stuff, because that's like if that's a way of getting around it, that's really bad. You could literally just put out a cartoon game and then just update it to be this horrible thing just so you get the rating.
It's true.
It's crazy, isn't it?
It is.
And it's just like some people are actually rejoicing over this and think it's the best thing ever, and I'm just like, you're crazy. But there you go. We'll be talking about that more later. And then finally, number 6, Microsoft updated their terms and conditions for Xbox Live, and they can now actually ban you for bad language.
Good.
Interesting. And I wonder if they actually do start doing that. Will more people come over to PlayStation because people like to swear?
Probably.
So, do you think Microsoft is actually going to ban people for it?
I think it's going to be a scale thing. If it's like every word is a swear word, you're getting banned.
Okay.
But if it's like once in like 4 sentences, I think you're going to be okay.
Okay. Yeah.
I think that's what's going to happen.
Not that that's what we want to do.
We don't do that.
But yeah, I wonder as well if it's like for like extreme like abuse, if that's why they put it in, just so that they can get rid of that. You know, people who are actually like incredibly abusive. You know what I mean? Yeah. Interesting. That has been the news. We are torpedoing through this. Every week we're trying to reduce the time a little bit more.
Yeah.
Most of the time it actually results in the time being bigger. But we are rocketing through this, and we are going straight to section 4, which is what is out this week.
Can someone tell me what's out this week? Hey-oh.
Welcome back to section 4, which is what is out this week, and we have a jam-packed, crazy week of games to get through. I am so excited.
This could be the thing that pushes us over the edge of that, getting it done quick.
Yeah. So as always, I am going to go through the games that are releasing this week that are noteworthy. So I'm not going to go through the millions of games that are going up on Steam every day that is like Kangaroo Blast or something.
Kangaroo Blast.
Oh, I'm sure that's a game, or Canoe Rocket Ride or something. You know, just
That sounds boss.
It does actually sound pretty good. So this is just the games that like are actual like stuff we would recommend to buy. And this week we have a grand total of 0. There is absolutely nothing noteworthy going out this week. And I think that's the first time I've ever experienced that.
Yeah.
I mean, there's usually weeks where it's like quiet, but at least there's always something. But there's literally nothing this week, unfortunately. So instead, I thought I'm gonna tell you a bit about some deals coming out that are out at the moment, specifically on the Switch, which I've noticed. There's a lot of Easter sales on at the moment.
Yes, there is.
So pretty much there's an Easter sale on literally everything. The Switch has a pretty good sale on. They've got things like Skyrim on sale, Doom on sale, like a lot of the big third party games. They'd probably reduced by about 30-40%, which is pretty cool. But Jodie, so what we're gonna have to do is, what we always do is we get Jodie to pick a game that's out that week, that to recommend to you to buy if you are just dying to buy a game this week.
Mm-hmm.
So Jodie, any game on any system, what should people buy this week?
PUBG, and come and join our crew.
And it's free.
And it's free.
And
There you
it's
go.
free.
You don't have to pay for it.
So there you go, nice and simple. Download. I mean, there's no reason not to.
I know. Just
No
don't
reason not to.
understand.
Give it a go. Join the crew.
Go for it.
We'll have a great time.
Yeah.
This has been What's Out This Week. And we're going to move straight on to reviews of the week.
Oh, it's time to get funky. The reviews of the week.
Welcome back to Section 6, which is Topic of the Week. And this is going to be a really interesting topic. We've never talked about anything like this before. And the question today is, should some games actually be completely banned from coming out? Full stop. So this is coming off the back of the news story we talked about before, which was Outlast 2 patching in content now, which they purposely cut out to get a certain game rating, and now they're patching it in after it's got its rating, which is dodgy in itself. But we said before that this game actually got banned from Australia for sexual violence that was in it. I'm not going to go into detail about what I know what it is because I read the article about it, but there's basically something that happens in the game which involves sexual violence, and I believe that happened in the first one as well. So I don't know why these people who are making this game are just doing weird stuff. And it is very strange as well. From the description that it says, I'd actually recommend if you ever want to act like, sometimes you might want to know like word for word what's in a game. If you actually go on the game rating website, they actually put in the full description like things that sometimes quite graphically what's in it, but it'll explain it so you can actually see word for word what's in it. But if you remember back when we were kids, Jodie, there was a game called Manhunt that actually got banned as well initially.
Yeah.
There was, and that was because for heavy violence.
Yeah.
So my kind of question is for you today, Jodie. I'll comment as well. But what do you think about banning? Do you think certain games should actually be completely banned, never to see the light of day? And if so, like, what's the kind of what's the line that you kind of like, we don't cross this? If you actually remember a while back, we talked about Donald Trump wanting to put a tax on mature games, and we kind of talked about how we didn't agree with that and thought it was a bit stupid. But what do you think about this then? Do you think certain games should be completely banned, or do you think we should just have complete freedom to put out whatever? People should be able to put out whatever, and then we can decide if we want to do it or not. What do you think?
No, I don't. I don't think that games that have this sort of stuff in, or even have the point of in the future we can patch this in, they shouldn't be on the shelf at all. They shouldn't have a choice. I mean, like, it's been banned in one country, so I'm surprised that other countries haven't looked at it, like China and...
Yeah. So Australia tend to be stricter than most, but I think they have like a zero tolerance on like sexual violence. Yeah.
That, to be honest with you, I think it's a good thing.
Yeah,
I think that should
agree.
happen everywhere, and but I just think that games like this are just what are you achieving from it? You know what I mean? I always think when I play games, what am I going to achieve from this game? And if it's going to end up like something like that, I'm like, no, I'm out of there. I'm out. Not playing it. Not even going near it. But yeah, I don't think they should be on the shelf at all. With that situation. But the banning process, I think the line stops when like abuse comes into it. I mean, it's okay when, say, you're doing a detective game and like someone's been murdered, and it's when it's graphically shown.
Yeah, and there's kind of a point to that, isn't there? It's not just like we're just putting a murder in there for fun, or just because it looks cool.
Yeah, I mean, like, if you were like playing a detective game, as we were talking, like literally, and then you go to this crime scene, that's okay. But when it's like, when you're watching it happen, it's just not right. And you've got kids underage that might play that game as well. You know what I mean? So it's just not
Yeah.
It's just not sensible at all.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I agree with that as well. I think like when it comes into things like abuse and that, I just don't think. I mean, there was even the point. If you remember, we actually did. We didn't actually do it. Did we? We should totally do that. But we were going to do a reaction. To we talked a while back about Detroit Becoming Human, where that has in the game it actually has some scenes in it, which it was to do with in the trailer, and we might do a reaction to it because I'm interested to know other people's thoughts. But it was to do with that. In that game, you make a lot of choices, and one of those choices is like there's actually like a dad who actually ends up murdering her own daughter, and you kind of you can make choices in an order to stop that. But if you make the wrong choices, she actually does get killed. And some like it was very like divisive. Like there was sort of 50% of people who thought it was the worst thing ever. They couldn't believe it was in a game, and then there was 50% of people going like, actually, this is good. It kind of shines a light on this issue. And I think that's kind of it. I think like in this instance with Outlast 2, it's kind of like they're putting stuff in like that, like sexual, actual sexual violence. It's just kind of just to be graphic and gruesome. Yeah. Like that's its purpose, and it doesn't serve any other purpose. And it's just to literally horrify you in the I'm scared. It's like that's actually disgusting, and that doesn't help anybody. It doesn't push the game further. It doesn't help the game in any way. It doesn't help the story. It's literally just there to get a reaction out of you. And I'm like, exactly what you're saying. Like, if there's literally no purpose to it, and it's not really a good purpose, then like, why would you do that?
Yeah.
And that's where it kind of becomes, and especially when it comes to abuse, I think you've got to deal with that very carefully. And when we talked about it on the show last with Detroit, it was when it's artistic in the sense of like it's trying to show you and tell you something. I mean, you have to be very careful when it comes to abuse, but when it's the purpose of it is that's kind of more acceptable in a way. But then you have a choice whether you want to do it. So like Beth wouldn't want to play Detroit because that would just affect her too much. Whereas like I might want to play it because actually I want to experience like the emotion of it, and I want to experience like I want it to show me a bit more. Like I talked about in Beyond Two Souls, there was a whole section on homelessness, and you kind of joined a homeless community, and it showed you like, I wouldn't be like, games should never have homeless people in it, but actually it showed you like the difficulties that they go through, and it kind of showed me a side of the world that I'd never even really thought that much about, and I thought that was good. But when it's just like putting gruesome stuff in, disgusting stuff, abusive stuff, just almost like as entertainment, that I think that's where that's the line, isn't it? When you're using abuse for entertainment, that's where it's bad. Whereas like something like Detroit, it's not an entertainment thing. That's not what it's trying to be. You know what I mean? And that's where it's the same. I think we talked about Call of Duty World War II as well, and how we didn't know how we felt about like the fact that this horrific event, which was D-Day, was being used as entertainment. And that's where it's like in the single player, it was kind of, you kind of got away with it because it was kind of like, this is us trying to show you how horrific this was. But then in multiplayer, it literally was a multiplayer map, which was like one of the Germans shooting, well, the Nazis shooting like the British or whatever, and the Allies. And it's like, you literally turn this into an entertainment thing now, whereas like you're actually physically going out for fun, going to kill people like that. And that's where it was like, that doesn't feel right. So yeah, I think that's what it comes down to, really, isn't it? It's like,
it is.
When you go into touchy subjects like that, it's like, are you using it just for entertainment and just to get laughs or kicks or whatever, or are you using it to kind of tell a story or tell a message? So yeah, that's it. But to me, this whole thing is completely unacceptable. I don't know how it's been allowed. So there you go. I mean, I would imagine it will go through like a rating system before it goes out. Like like patches have to get verified by like PlayStation and Xbox and stuff. But I mean, surely there's got to be some sort of notification to tell you that the age rating's gone up or something.
It's just
crazy. But they purposely cut stuff out in Australia specifically so they could get it out in Australia, and for them to just patch that in, it's just crazy. Yeah. But there you go.
Shows where their morals lie.
Yeah. So I mean, I just don't even see like your game's out now and it's being reviewed. People are playing stuff. Why bother patching it in? Why do you need to put that in? There's no reason for it. So you go anyway. Tell us your thoughts on this. It is a very tricky subject, and it is an interesting one. I know there was actually, to my amazement, there was actually lots of people who were excited about this, and I thought that was incredibly weird. But if you're one of those people who are excited, let us know your thoughts and kind of tell us why you think that this is a good thing. And if you also don't, like, just give us your perspective and let us know what you think about this. So this has been episode 15. Make sure you check out our Detective Pikachu unboxing. There's some really cool stuff in there. So check that out. You can also check we actually did a reaction video to the Nintendo Direct that Jodie did of her, because she's a non-Nintendo fan, and it was hilarious because she didn't know what half the stuff was. Like, literally didn't care, whereas other people like crying at some of the announcements. But that video's been doing quite well recently. It kind of went, I don't know what it was, but at one point it like doubled in views.
I've just not looked.
Check that out. It's a good laugh. And we'll have some other cool videos for you in the week as well. We might even do one on that Detroit trailer that I was talking about. But we'll see. So if you enjoy the show, if you are new, make sure you hit that subscribe button and then hit the bell, which will let you know as soon as we put up a new video. And of course, you can like this video if you liked it. You can dislike it if you dislike Jodie. And we will see.
Why would you do that?
Exactly, Jodie.
It's you that dislike your jokes. Anyway.
You liked my joke. Don't be like that. So we will see you next week for episode 16. In the meantime, keep yourself happy, keep yourself joyful, and have a great week.